Welcome to the Been There Doing That podcast. I'm Robert Scrivener.
And I'm Gayla Scrivener.
We left the 9-to-5 grind, downsized, and our goal is to have freedom to live and to work from just about anywhere.
We are glad that you joined us for another episode of the Been There Doing That podcast.
Yes, we are.
We are stir crazy to go on a long trip.
I'm ready.
I'm ready too.
I'm past ready. Where are we going?
Well, we're going out west. Gosh, when is that going to be? In April?
Not soon enough.
Not soon enough. So instead, we are doing little trips in between work and all that stuff. But
how's that working out for us?
Well,
not too bad.
Not too bad. But you had planned something for this past weekend that for several weeks you've had it on the calendar.
If it ain't on the calendar, it don't happen.
That's exactly right. And what were you planning?
I was planning to go to a Mountain Man Rendezvous up in Little Niagara in central Missouri.
Yeah. And what are rendezvous again? Recap that for people that don't know. I explained that to somebody. I was talking to the phone.
And how'd you explain it?
Well, I was talking to this guy in Texas. He's helps me with computer stuff for one of our clients. And he was asking, what are you guys going to do? And I explained, and he was like, wow, so you explain. Because he had no idea that they existed. So why don't you explain
that's
what
a good explanation. I just want to see how you explained it.
No. You get to explain it on the show. I skipped over my explanation.
I noticed. Well, it's the fur trade era. If nobody knows what the fur trade era, it's between, we'll say late 1700s, early 1800s to 1840. The last rendezvous was in 1840, and that's where people go back when they had trapped furs, beaver, otter, anything like that.
Beaver made those felt
hats.
Felt hats that were so popular back then.
Beaver felt hats were in style, and that was the in thing. So
back in Europe, what was the oldest trading company or the oldest?
Hudson Bay. Mm-hmm. Hudson Bay Trading Company. They're still around since the 1600s, I want to say.
They got to have a website.
They do have a website. I'm sure they do. Hudson Bay Trading Company. But they went to a certain specified location. They met up there each year to sell their wares to the people that would buy the beaver felt or beaver pelts, take them back, and make hats out of them in exchange for money or supplies or whatever. So it was a get-together.
And, just kind of like you have Civil War reenactments or the, what's that other thing that's from the medieval times?
You just about said it right there.
Help me. Renaissance festivals.
I was waiting for a light to go off.
It didn't happen.
It did. It was very dim.
It was a dim light. Yeah, the Renaissance festivals, that's what the guy that I was talking to in Texas, he's like, kind of like a Renaissance festival, but for different period. And I said, yes.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much it.
And not always do what we plan works out exactly how we want it, huh?
Not always. We're lucky if it happens. But sometimes, sometimes it does happen, and we're like, yay.
It happened. No, we have good luck usually. It was a beautiful day when we set off for our day trip.
It was supposed to be in the 50s, I think, that day. But windy. But
great in February.
For February, we'll take it.
Mm-hmm. And we headed toward Little Niagara.
Yeah, it's center of the state, kind of. Around Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri, Camdenton area. It was
a 3-day event, right?
Let's see. It was all day Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
That would make 3.
That would make 3. I think you was allowed to set up early on Thursday if you wanted.
Well, we got there and drove around, and what did we see?
We saw about 4 tents.
Yeah, we did see a couple of people dressed up in period costume. You were dressed up in period
I was ready.
costume. Yes. But
Didn't even take my picture.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't.
No.
Man, what are we going to put pictures on this podcast?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I got pictures of other things, but that will tell what they are later on.
Yes. But we were a little bit apprehensive of getting out of the car.
Why is that, Gayla?
Well, you didn't want to. I was like, why don't you wave at him? But it seemed like we would be disrupting somebody's family event instead of a rendezvous.
Look approachable for such, I don't know what you want to call it. Just did not look.
There were no signs.
No signs. No.
And
it just looked like somebody dressed up period like, and then went camping with 3 other buddies.
Yeah, and so we were scared.
And I didn't see no trade goods out laying on the trade blanket.
No. And
That's what I was looking forward to.
Yeah, I was afraid that we would be like honing in on somebody's dinner because they were cooking.
Well, of course, it was brunch, about brunch time.
But I'm glad that they had a good time, I suppose.
We don't know.
We don't know. We circled around there and we left. We never got out of the car. And, how many years ago? 2, 3, 5? How many?
2013.
Okay. So that was 4 years ago.
There you go.
And 5 years ago.
Where's your math?
Oh, my goodness.
Time flies.
5 years ago, we did the same thing.
Exact same thing. Went up to the same Mountain Man Rendezvous, did 1 lap around the campground and left.
Because you were trying to say to me, well, you did say to me over and over, we've been there before.
We had.
And I was explaining a different rendezvous that we went to, or a different event. He's like, no.
Remember this? And we're pulling in, and you're saying, this looks familiar.
I remember
this
now.
Looks familiar.
And it was like deja vu.
Light bulb went off.
It did, but we ended up leaving there. It was a beautiful day, so you took the long route back home.
Not the long. It was the scenic route.
Yeah. We had lunch at home.
It's places we don't normally go to. We usually go there and come straight back the same way.
We saw some
different sights.
We got home, let the dogs out, and had lunch. Made some fantastic corn dip.
Oh, yes.
That dip recipe.
I wouldn't give that recipe out.
You don't think so?
No.
I think people might want it.
You can show a picture of it, but I wouldn't put.
How do you show a picture of it? The bowl is empty.
It was good.
It was good. We had gotten that recipe, a few years ago from...
It's been that long?
Yeah. And we make it more than
they do.
Thanks, Chris and Tracy.
Thank you.
We were bound and determined not to stay in the house. So we left again. Had no plan. Kind of plan.
Nah.
Not really.
What
did we end up doing, Robert?
Driving
some more.
Got gas. Drove some more so we could drive some more.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the gas station had some feller say, hey, seen stickers on the side of the window
I was wondering what he was talking about.
He said, you really been to all them places? Of course, it was the national parks and like Fall Creek Falls in Tennessee and Mesa Verde.
We're in the Subaru.
And you really been to all them places? I said, yeah. Well, what's your favorite one? So I said, well, Fall Creek Falls in Tennessee is pretty good.
Aw. He must not get out much.
Mesa Verde, yeah. I said, there's more on the other side, but he didn't look over there.
Well, we do have a lot of stickers on the Subaru.
That's
not as many as what we want. We split them up between the Jeep and the Subaru. Depends on which car goes where.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
Kind of sad if we have to go back if we get rid of the Subaru.
Yeah.
No.
Probably not get rid of the Jeep though.
No.
Probably keep the Jeep.
And what else?
So we went to a cemetery.
Yeah, your dad said that what a sad place to
That's
go.
a depressing place to go.
No, you pulled up your Find a Grave.
Yeah, I've got an app on the phone. It's called Find a Grave, and people go on there sometimes and request a photo of one of their relatives or somebody they know, that so they can see their headstone.
It's a pretty good, it's a really neat app or website for genealogy purposes.
Yeah.
And sometimes, we found somebody that they got the birthdays wrong or something like that.
They had the 1 year off.
Mm-hmm.
It was the same on everything, but the headstone itself had the year different than what was on the website.
So that's kind of neat. You had some photo requests, and that was kind of like a nice little
get your
stroll
exercise
around.
and help somebody out at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That was looking for a photo request.
And we ended up going to 3 different ones.
2.
I thought we walked
the third
around.
one you didn't want to go.
Well, there were 2 that we did not want to go to. One of them was like almost
So
in the
then we
front yard
to
of the house.
4.
Yeah.
Went to 2 for sure. And then the other 2, I don't feel comfortable here.
No. One of them was practically out the front door of this person's house, and I didn't feel comfortable walking around in their yard.
Well, why not? It's got 260-something grave sites.
That's true. The other one, the last one, was...
It was definitely up somebody's driveway.
And it only had how many? 20?
25. It had to have been a private...
family,
yeah.
private. Yeah, we didn't go there.
So we took, I don't know how many pictures we took. There was only 4 open requests at the first one.
We found 3 out of the 4.
3 out of the 4 wasn't bad. And then there was 20 requests at the other one, and we found, I think, 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah.
And somebody I knew.
Yeah, you came across a tombstone that had a...
person's name on it that I know.
No, actually, you saw the guitar.
I saw the guitar on there. And I was
it's well, there you go.
Hey, I know that person.
Yeah,
Hadn't seen him in a long time, but I knew they passed away.
He passed away from a
Motorcycle accident. Yes, got hit on a motorcycle.
And you just didn't realize he lived.
I didn't know he was from up in that area, so
Mm-hmm.
that was kind of surprising.
So that was, you told your dad about it
Yeah.
and stuff. So I think it's kind of, I don't know if it's surreal or what the right word is, going to a cemetery, but just thinking back and just wondering and remembering people even that we don't even know, just wonder who they were and how they lived their lives and things like that.
Wow. Died in 1899.
I know.
There's a lot of old graves out there.
And it's just interesting. And I feel kind of I guess honored or whatever, just to walk around there. And now we'll have to go to a few where our relatives are.
That are close to home we hadn't even been to.
Exactly.
Been to a couple, but not the more off the beaten path ones. We've just been to the main ones.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one a half a mile from the house.
Yeah, we haven't. We've
been through that one, but we haven't looked for any open photo requests.
Right. Well, that was a good day. It was good not to crack open the computer really and just drive around and got back. You did some ham radio stuff. That was a contest day. Some sort of Minnesota.
It was the Minnesota and Vermont QSO party.
What does QSO mean?
Contact.
Okay. Not everybody knows.
Well, not everybody. A conversation, a contact. Yeah.
People call out, and then you exchange your call sign and where you're from.
Call
and
sign,
stuff.
and usually on the county that you're in on a state QSO party.
And so you got a few contacts in just here and there.
Waiting on your lunch.
Oh, that's right.
That's why I was waiting on lunch.
So you got a lot done in a little time.
Yeah, but this next week,
What?
going to be a lot more.
What?
Head gasket on the Jeep.
Yes.
Big job.
You better take a lot of pictures of that.
I better take a lot of notes.
What's involved in this job that you have to do? Because we're taking the Jeep out west, and we're going to Overland Expo in May, near Flagstaff. Is it near Flagstaff?
It's in Flagstaff
Okay.
at the fairgrounds.
I didn't know if they moved it.
Coconino County.
I'm just along for the ride.
Yeah, you don't have to drive.
I don't drive
But
at all.
you can.
You don't let me.
No.
There's some sort of thing on the gear shift that's broken, some sort of wire that you haven't hooked back up, you have to downshift and then back up shift.
It's the kick-down cable.
Yeah.
For when you want to pass somebody and it downshifts, since it's automatic.
Are you thinking about fixing that?
No.
Oh. Okay.
No. It's anti-theft.
Yes.
I doubt it's anti-theft, but it makes people think, ooh, this ain't very right.
It doesn't go very fast. But we're going in the Jeep, and there's some repairs. There's nothing wrong with the Jeep.
No, it smelled coolant every once in a while, and I was like, it could be time.
Yeah, my dad was asking you, what's wrong with the Jeep?
Nothing.
You just don't want anything wrong.
Preventative maintenance.
So you're going to be doing the head gasket, and so what does that involve?
Removing the cylinder head.
Is that complicated?
Not for somebody who's done it.
Have you done it?
Not on a Jeep.
What have you done it on? It's been a long time.
BMWs. Porsches.
Surely the Jeep's got to be easier.
It's already easier. The hood folds all the way back.
While you're in there, are you doing anything else, or are you just kind of...
It depends. I'm on a poke and search method. Poke around, search around, see if there's anything else I need to.
We're on a search for tires.
Yep. Need new shoes.
Need new shoes. And you wanted to do this in the cold of February, but it's supposed to get warmer, I guess, this week.
Hey.
It snowed.
It snowed this weekend.
But you're going to be...
But it'll be 60 by Tuesday, so...
Okay.
Welcome to Missouri.
You're going to spend a week poking and prodding at the Jeep so that we have the rest of February and all of March before we go.
And half of April.
Before we...
So 2 months.
Make the big trek.
Yeah, 2 months of driving, putting a couple thousand miles on, just maybe not a couple thousand, but a good 1,000 or plus miles.
It might be a couple thousand. We go.
Drive a lot, make sure everything's up to par.
Okay. That sounds like a big job that Gayla won't be on.
Still got to put the other springs back on.
Oh, why?
Got to rebuild the front and rear drive shafts.
Oh.
Yes, there's a lot more to it than you think.
I did not realize you're doing all of that.
Check the brakes. Replace all lug nuts, all lug bolts, studs.
Because?
So we don't want them breaking off like they hit last time.
Yeah.
Don't know why they did, but...
So you're just going to get all new ones. We already have some new ones.
Yep.
Do you know which ones?
Front and rear. Got enough for a whole front and a whole rear.
You just changed the springs. Why are you changing them back to the old springs?
Well, that's a great question, Gayla. The ones back there are too soft.
So we bought soft springs.
Soft springs.
Now...
Not knowing what the load rating was on them when we got them.
Oh, not very much.
No, they're soft.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
The springs, you were showing me some sort of spring straightener.
Well, let's call it a relocation bracket.
Okay. What does that mean, and who did you hear it from?
I heard it from, actually I saw it from East Coast Overland Adventures.
Mm-hmm.
Dean. Yes, that's his name. Just installed one on his Jeep.
And what does that do?
It takes the rear spring, and since it's at a kind of an angle, it straightens it up to where it's straight up and down instead of at an angle. Relocates the rear spring where it goes up and touches the frame, or where the frame sits on the.
And what's the advantage of that?
So you're not at an arch, straight up and down. You gain about an inch and a half.
I thought it was normal to be at an arch.
No. You see the spring out of the box, it's straight up and down.
Uh-huh.
You put it on a Jeep and it's at an arch.
All Jeeps?
Yes.
Oh, so
not all Jeeps. All Jeeps that have a TJ or an LJ.
Mm. Why do they do that?
I don't know. Ask Chrysler. Beyond my pay grade.
So you're going to put the stiff springs back.
Well, at least in my mind, they were stiffer. Never bottomed out.
Did we bottom out on the others? With the squishy
ones
swing?
now, yes.
Oh, we don't like that.
No. Made weird noise. The front drive shaft hits the muff or the exhaust when you're riding in there. Didn't do that before.
Is it my... Do I need to lose weight? Are you telling me I need to lose weight?
Oh.
Oh, you're in trouble now.
Well...
Did it do it when Oscar was in the passenger seat?
No, it did not do it when Oscar was in there.
Oh, man.
Portly little dog. Yeah, it only does it when somebody's in the passenger seat.
So what does that mean? You have to just tighten things up? Or
remove and replace.
Okie dokie. That sounds like a big job.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not going to be there.
I'll take pictures for you.
You and your dad have your work cut out for you. Actually, your dad's there for moral support.
I think he is. That and just get me out of the weather so I'm not doing it in the snow.
Yep. You might install a toggle switch somewhere because he's
the toggle switch king.
Yes.
Need brake lights? Put them on a toggle switch. Need turn signals? Put them on a toggle switch. Need a horn? Here's a tape recording.
Oh, surely not. Surely not.
Yeah. Well.
You know, I'm glad that we got out of the house this weekend and drove around and enjoyed the weather in February.
Before the snow came.
Before the snow came. And sometimes what we plan and look forward to does not exactly happen the way we imagine it.
No.
But, boy, we sure did make a good day out of it.
Yeah.
We weren't disappointed. We weren't angry. We just kept on driving.
Yeah. 300-mile day.
It was a 300-mile day. And we had corn salsa.
Oh. Oh, that was tasty.
If you want the recipe for the corn salsa, you'll have to email us.
Yeah, we'll give it out.
Sparingly.
To the first 5 people that email us.
Sparingly, I guess.
After that, we'll consider.
How can they email us?
At BeenThereDoingThat.com.
How about podcast at BeenThereDoingThat.com?
I forgot that part, didn't I?
Yeah, the email has an @ sign, so it's podcast
well, there you go.
BeenThereDoingThat.com.
Let me try that again. Ask me the question.
How do people email us, Robert?
At podcast@email.com. I know this answer.
Do it again.
Podcast@BeenThereDoingThat.com.
Exactly.
I told you I knew this one.
Where can they find you on Instagram?
Been there doing that.
How about Facebook?
Facebook, whatever it is, been there doing that.
How about website?
BeenThereDoingThat.com. I knew that one.
All right.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Yeah, we'd love for you to connect with us, and we're going to wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
And we hope you enjoyed the show. If you like the show, why don't you subscribe?
Just give us a virtual thumbs up.
That would be fantastic. We have a good time doing this, and we hope to hear from you. And until next time,
toodaloo.